How's it going, everyone? Welcome back for another cooking video. Today I'm going to make some nabe hot pot, spicy hot pot. This is a hot and spicy flavor. This is actually more of a Chinese flavor, I think, based on dubanjiang, Japanese pepper, and other spices. You can't miss it if you want to enjoy an authentic Chinese style hot pot. So, hot pot. Nabemono meaning one pot meal. This is some good stuff. I find these, the soup base, you can make this from scratch, but we're just going to use the one from the package and worry about adding all of the other ingredients. If you look on the back of the package, they kind of tell you what you want. You want some sliced meat. I've got pork, Chinese cabbage, one bok. I've got that in the fridge. I'm going to pull that out real quick. I've got half of a giant head of cabbage. This is about 3 pounds of cabbage. As I mentioned, this is going to be a giant hot pot. What I find with this dish is that I have to make it in bulk. Otherwise, half of this is going to go to waste. Half of these mung beans are going to go to waste. I'd probably use up all the mushrooms, one onion. But we're going to throw it all in the pot. Pretty simple dish. This goes well with rice, other side dishes. Takuan, I've got some of the other radish pickles, some red Japanese pickles I'll put on the side when I dish it up. But basically, yeah, I'm going to chop this all up. Got some carrots here as well, carrots into 1/4-inch pieces. Relatively thin. These are small carrots, but I've just got some from a cello bag. One onion, one pack of Shimeji mushrooms, one bag of mung beans. I'll probably save a few just for some ramen that I have later on, perhaps when I get tired of eating this nabe. Not that's going to happen until I'm done with it. Probably about 2.5 pounds of cabbage, 2 pounds of pork. This is going to keep me well fed for a good week or so when I make it all in the pot. So let's go ahead and get all these things chopped up. I'm going to get the onions sliced up into, your typical thinly sliced onion. The mung beans we'll throw in all at once. We'll probably clean up the mushrooms. We'll chop off the bottoms of this since they tend to be a little dirty. I'll probably rinse those off as well. And then I'll chop up the carrots. Get this all into a pot and let's go ahead and get started on that. Okay, I've got all my vegetables cut up. I'm going to go ahead and throw this soup base into the pot. I'm going to cook these vegetables in the order of how long they're going to take to cook. So it's going to be carrots first, the onions next, the cabbage. That's why I've got the bean sprouts and then also the mushrooms off to the side. I'm going to throw those in at the end along with the pork. Don't want that to overcook. So, man, I don't know. This pot might not be big enough. We're going to basically make double the recipe. So in goes the hot pot base here. All right, going to go ahead and throw in 2 bags of this stuff. I'm going to do this without spilling too much. Make sure to rinse out the bottom of the bag. Plenty of spices down there. Just like you would a can of tomato paste. You can always reduce this by just leaving it on and letting it steam out some of the water later on. And this will come up to a boil, but it doesn't really matter when we throw in the carrots. We just know these are going to take the longest to cook. So even though I just turned on the oven, I'm just going to throw my carrots in already to start. Same with the onion, doesn't really matter how long you cook these. These are just going to cook down anyways. They're just here to give a little of that onion flavor. So in goes 1 onion as well. Bring this up to a nice rolling boil over the next few minutes. We'll come back when we're ready to throw in our one bok Chinese cabbage. And then to follow the thinly sliced pork and the mushrooms at the very end. Looking good so far. Got the cabbage. We're going to throw a bunch of this in. Probably get it all in if we can. I probably should have chopped this up a little bit more, but it'll be fine. This is all going to cook down. Get all this cabbage in there. Then come back after it starts up. And then come back once the temperature comes back up to a rolling boil or a simmer. Alright, that's all the cabbage into the pot. I'm going to let this come back to the simmer. We'll go ahead and stir it up and then we'll get ready to throw in the last 3 ingredients, which are the pork, the mushrooms, and the bean sprouts. Cook some rice up as well. I'm going to do jasmine rice. I really like jasmine rice. It is a little bit more expensive than regular Calrose white rice, but I enjoy the taste. I think it's worth a few extra cents for the staples, rice, potatoes. Spend a little extra on this stuff, especially when it can enhance the flavor of the meal considerably. So let's go ahead and do a small pot of jasmine rice. Okay, cabbage starting to cook down, starting to get nice and soft. As you can see, everything's kind of reduced. And then now we're going to go ahead and add our meat. Got some thinly sliced pork. I'll probably throw in my bean sprouts and then the mushrooms at the very end. So, all right, let's get this pork into there. Kind of want to make sure it's not all clumped up together. You want it to be nice and loose in there. We'll get half of this in first to start. Now, if you were in a Nabe restaurant, you would just kind of throw this in at the very last second, eat it kind of rare, but I definitely do want a lot of that pork flavor to get into the vegetables as well. In order to do that, you need it to cook down a little bit, so let's go ahead and get our string beans in there next. All right, we definitely are filled to the brim, but here goes the last ingredient, the mushrooms. We'll let this simmer for maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and then it'll be ready to eat right there. The meat itself will cook real quick. This is the way that it's cut. Just need to put it towards the bottom of the pot. And then we'll be back when ready to serve this. But yeah, look at that, all the way up to the brim. Might have gone a little worried this was going to happen, but I think everything fits in the pot. We'll be good to go once it cooks down just a little bit here. Once we get all the meat and the vegetables to cook down a little bit more. I'm going to serve this up, plate it up, and go ahead and start eating in just a bit here. Alright, so here's the finished product. Man, this looks delicious. Plenty of vegetables. I think this is fairly healthy, pretty nutritious. The pork is pretty lean. So, and there's a lot of flavor in here. Plenty of vegetables. But pretty much I'll serve this in a bowl. You definitely could put the rice into the bowl as well and eat it like a soup, but I don't know, I think it messes with the texture of the rice a bit. The rice will definitely get a little bit more mushy. So traditionally, I think you eat the rice on the side, and you know, the bowl of vegetables and soup is just to flavor the rice. Traditionally, you would eat a large amount of rice and then just a very small amount of meat. So this would actually be a very luxurious stew with this much meat. The amount of meat that I put in here, I think it's probably close to double than what the recipe calls for. But I'm just trying to get a good mixture of the vegetables, some of the carrots, the onion, the Chinese cabbage, wan bok, and then I'm definitely going to get some of that soup in there as well. Ladle it over. Put a few of the mushrooms in there for make it look a little decoration. So I've turned down the heat pretty much all the way, pretty much down to about 1 low temperature. And the vegetables, all the flavors are going to mix while it slowly cooks. I'll turn it off in a few minutes. But this should be ready. This should be ready to eat. That's kind of what it looks like. Plate this up with the rice and we'll be right back. Alright, so that's the dish. I'm ready to eat. I've got the hot pot in the bowl right there. I've got the rice off to the side. And then I've also got the takuan and another red pickled radish. These are just, these definitely change the flavor, palate cleanser. Some other stuff might be good here, might be some pickled ginger. But anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and eat. This is certainly a dish that will last me the whole week, but hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys try it out. Let me know how you like it. But until the next time, thank you for watching. Oh yeah, I'm went back for seconds, that's for sure.